Elizabeth Banks has big plans for her feminist Charlie's Angels reboot. What? Why is it feminist now? I mean, I could have guessed by the cringy trailer we saw, but it looks like Elizabeth Banks, who is the director of the movie, is proclaiming it feminist. Well, not quite. She hints upon that. The Mary Sue adds the word feminist. But Banks isn't too far off, and let's see what she says. So, let me get into the statements Banks makes. I'm not going to read the whole article. I know everyone on YouTube says I'm not going to read the whole article, but I'm not. So let's see what Banks has to say. Banks says one of the statements this movie makes is that you should probably believe women. Okay, because I don't believe women? Half the people in my life are women. I believe them, but it depends on the person. I don't just believe women because they're a woman or a man. It just all depends. We have as much validity in what we're feeling and how we want to go about living in the world, being in the world, and that was really important to me, that we felt like we had characters that were being taken seriously and given a chance to live their best life, because that's what I want to see when I go to a movie theater. I want to see characters that have the chance to live their best life. Wow, that sounds great. That's the kind of movie I'm looking for, guys. When I go to see a movie, I want to see characters who have the chance to live their best life. What a pile of minced words with no meaning. That's my opinion. Maybe yours is different, but that doesn't say anything to me to get me excited about the movie. But these people are not trying to get us excited about the movie. They're trying to prove a point about women. Banks also touched on the feminism in the film, which Mary Sue says. Banks doesn't actually say feminism. I feel like this entire endeavor is about giving women the opportunity, including myself, of course, to participate fully in a really big action franchise, because this is the first time ever that women had the chance to participate in a large action franchise, especially recently, right? We're just hearing this over and over and over like a broken FUCKING record in my ear. Women have been represented in movies, especially over the last 10 years, and I'm going to go as far as to say it feels like they have to be represented or the mainstream media says the movie's bad. Oh man, so now is when I have to remind everybody who's watching who might be opposing me is that there are women throughout my life of over 40 years that I've loved in movies, and that has to be explained if you're going to say I don't like Charlie's Angels because it's women. But yeah, we're going in circles here, but sometimes we have to go in circles to prove points. We've done it. It's been something that's been in the DNA of Charlie's Angels from the beginning. I'm not sure about that. I have checked out the 1978 version recently. Well, I checked out pictures, and I don't know, just like kind of a cool show. And they changed a few little tweaks, of course, for 2019, which I'd rather them just keep the characters original. I like original material to be kept the same or make your own stuff. That's my motto. I don't give a rat's ass what anyone thinks. Certain things just should be the same. I mean, why? When there's not a reason to change a character, don't change a character. Okay, anyway. And while the Charlie's Angels films of the early 2000s revealed a kind of pop, cheeky feminism, there are still several moments where the angels are subject to the male gaze. Well, I guess she's saying they don't want the Charlie's Angels to be looked at by men as sex objects because, well, what if they're sexy? So what? I'm a man. I really like beautiful women, and I think that it's no problem if the gaze is respectful. Yeah, you don't want a male gaze like looking at like, what's that? I want to bang that thing. Yeah, of course not. It should be tasteful. But if it's tasteful, if it's a guy in a suit, he's got good intentions, there's no reason not to. I don't mean like every guy in a suit's good, but you get my point. If it's like, a well-mannered guy, there's no reason he can't be looking at a woman. I know what they mean, though. If it's like a distasteful gaze, okay, I get that. The women in this film use their brains and their wits. We had a mantra which was, we are going to fight smarter, not harder. That was how we approached most of the action sequences in the movie. The women in the film, for instance, I had another mantra on set. This one I really gotta kind of prove wrong, which was everybody gets to wear what they feel awesome and comfortable wearing and what they want to strut around in this movie because, we don't want the women wearing sexy clothes in the movie. You know why? Because if you're fighting, sexy clothes actually make sense. You know why? Because it's tight, it fits good, and you could move, you can kick, you could punch, you could flip in sexy clothes better. I mean, it happens to be sexy. Gymnastic women in the Olympics You could say wear sexy clothes, but it's because they're flipping, jumping, doing acrobatics. It makes perfect sense. So if it makes sense for a woman to wear sexy clothes, I think there's no problem with that. Jump around in some flannels and evening gowns and house dresses, because that's what we want you to be comfortable in. Don't wear that tight leather that makes sense to fight in or anything like that, because we don't need to make sense. We need to prove a point. Anyway, down here, she has to get her final say about how it's for the female audience, but it's also for everybody. Let's see. It's important that women, the audience for this movie, sees themselves in some part of this movie. I think that it's really important, Banks said. I want the audience to feel a sense of ownership over the film, that they could be in this movie, that they could live in this world. It's a real message. This is a real message in Charlie's Angels, guys. It's a movie that I want to entertain all audiences, but I did want to make something that felt important to women and especially young girls. Of course she did, because it seems like every single female director now wants to make something important for the girls. Is there anybody saying this about guys? Is this like a totally one-sided thing now? I mean, it's cool. I'm all for girl power and strong women in movies, but it's getting to be a pattern. It's getting to be predictable. It's not special anymore. It's getting boring. They said the message. Let's move on to a new, better message. You can't push diversity and say this is mostly for women, and so was Ghostbusters, and wink wink, Star Wars probably was too, along the lines of, oh wait, Brie Larson, right, Captain Marvel, she's for strong women too, so is anyone allowed to say this needs to be a movie for men anymore? You guys let me know what you think in the comments. I'm doing shout-outs, special thanks, things like that, and yeah, I'm not like really upset or like mad, I'm just a little uppity about this, because it's getting old, it's getting silly already. I mean, yeah, I've said my piece on this channel over and over about good women I like in movies, so when I see things that look a little sketchy, shady, you could say, then I gotta call it out. If women directors are gonna keep directing movies and just push for girl power, I don't see the point. They gotta make good movies. Alright, that's it. See you next time.